Okay guys, how are you? My name is Raven Woods and I am the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks the IEP. I help parents to get the confidence and knowledge to really truly rock their child's IEP and become the CEO of that meeting. So with that said, hopefully you guys can hear me because my phone is dying. I'm at the gas station. I am totally 5 minutes late. If you're hopping on, can you please give me a thumbs up that you can hear me? Because I'm in my car, I have my phone plugged in. Like I said, I'm at the gas station, but I didn't want to fail you guys as I said I never would unless I'm completely sick and crazy. So if you're hopping on right now, give me a thumbs up that you can hear me. If you can't hear me, tell me, text me or something like that, but give me a thumbs up saying that you can hear me so I know you can hear me, okay? So with that said, I am at the gas station, but I'm not gonna fail you guys. I am totally, okay, good, I'm glad you can hear me. So, okay, good. So, like I said, I feel crazy because I'm at the gas station. I just left an appointment, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go live. I have 6 minutes, but I'm one of those type A people that, you know, if I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. So we're gonna talk about the tip of the week, okay? So the tip of the week I think is really cool. I do this every Monday. I started, I think, 3 weeks ago, and I think it's really cool because I'm going off of a lot of your questions, a lot of the issues that I'm finding that you guys are having and that you're talking amongst each other with, or, you know, when you first join the group, you answer some questions. So a lot of times I'll go off that as well because you're really pouring your heart out to me, a lot of you, in answering those questions, and I really appreciate that. So for those of you who are hopping on, my name's Raven Woods. I am the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks the IEP. I help parents gain the knowledge and confidence to really truly rock their child's IEP and become the CEO of that meeting, which is who you should be all along, okay? But we're gonna help you really nail that and do that as we go along here. So the tip of the week today, I've been thinking about it because it's something I'm actually getting ready to do as well, as you guys need to start thinking right now about ESY, okay? So that's summer. That is something you need to think about right now. You're probably thinking, okay, it's not even January, the holidays haven't even happened. Why the heck would I think about ESY? Well, let me tell you, if you have never received ESY, it's going to be a fight. Okay, negotiation, if you want to call it, whatever have you, you are going to have to give reason as to why you need ESY. Most children with special needs need ESY. I'll tell you why I personally feel that way as an educator, as someone who's worked with children for the past 18 years, and I've also dealt with the IEP and the educational system and gone from flat out knowing nothing to really nailing my child's IEP in a 12-year period, okay? And that was a gradual thing. So the reason why, okay, you need to think about the ESY, okay, is because children with special needs need ongoing therapies, need ongoing education. When you have such a break, whatever it is, 6 weeks for some people, 8 weeks, whatever it is for your summer, it's very difficult for children with special needs, any type of child with a special need. That does not just mean autism. That does not just mean, you know, Down syndrome or any other type of disability like that. That also means children with ADD, ADHD, focus issues. That's actually a huge thing. So when you have a special need, period, you need ongoing consistency. You need something stable. Most of us, myself, maybe you, need consistency in just life, you know? It helps us focus better. It helps us adapt better. We are calm when that happens, when we have just consistency and steady. So when you have ESY, okay, it's something that your children can then continue their normal education that they have through the school year, through the summer, okay? So basically, for example, if your child receives, you know, speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, they can actually continue that through the summer, okay? And they can keep the services that they have. Why, you ask me? The reason why ESY is needed, one of the number one reasons, this is only one of many, but one of the number one reasons is regression. And so many children with special needs have regression over the summer. And here's the thing, is regression is not even a reason to receive ESY, okay? The schools will tell you that though, okay? But the reason why ESY is needed is because regression could happen and you don't want it to happen. So you want to make sure that your child has ongoing services, that their lives and their educational career, okay, that's what I call it, stays consistent, stays the same. And I don't mean the same as in their goals don't change and that sort of thing. What I mean is they continue to learn throughout the year. They don't just stop for 8 weeks for the summer and can lose everything. For some of our children, they could lose everything. And when back in 2007, and back when my daughter was first starting and she did not receive ESY, not only did she regress, but then she had a harder time starting off the school year, and she had behavior issues, and she was really having a hard time adjusting because she was out for the summer and things are not as steady during the summer, right? It's a little bit more lax. They go to sleep at a different time. They're able to do fun things during the day. They're not learning and doing all that type of thing. Right, Christine, that's right. So, and the key thing is keeping things steady and consistent, okay? If you have a child with autism, this is so important. If you have a child with ADHD and ADD, these are really important things to focus on and think about right now. And I mean it. The reason I say that is if you don't have ESY in place, or for example, you haven't had it last year, okay, that means you're gonna have a negotiation on your hands. So if you ask for an IEP now, think about it. You have it in 30 days, more than likely it's gonna be after the holidays, right? So, well, yeah, basically it would, because your 30 days would hit holidays. Hey, how are you? So, you think January, right? You have this meeting, you talk about ESY, and I'll tell you what the schools will tell you. They will actually say, oh, we're not gonna talk about that until like April or May. Oh, no way, guys, no way. Don't do that. Because if you do that, then April or May comes and you're trying to create this plan. And a lot of times for summer, you actually have to hire outside of the school system because a lot of their teachers may not provide the services. So they actually may have different occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech therapists during the summer. Be open to that. That's just how it works, okay? But if the school can't provide that, they have to hire on the outside. And do you think if they do an IEP with you in April or May, then they're trying to figure everything out to put it in place by June, that's gonna happen? No. So you have to be on it right now. So you're on it right now. You go to a meeting in January, you argue it, you negotiate it, they're fighting you. You may have to table that meeting and go back again in February and fight this. But the thing is you don't want to fight it come April and May, which is what they're going to push you off to. So don't allow that. Okay, so your argument to that is, hey, if you have to hire on the outside because you, the school system, can't provide my child what they need, I need to be on top of this ahead of time because that's the responsible thing to do. And even throw it back at them and say, I know you all want to do what's responsible, so we're going to discuss this now, create a plan of action, make sure it's something that's needed and appropriate so that we can then be on top of it come spring and summertime. All right? ESY can be across the board, just like an IEP, as far as, it's a temporary thing. So your IEP is still in place. Then your ESY is over the summer. So it may say June 16th, the Monday after school ends, to August 20th, whenever they start school, the Friday before they start school. Let me tell you something else about ESY. The school systems will try to tell you that they only provide ESY part day, or they only provide ESY for this period of time. Not true. It's again like the IEP. It is flexible. It can change. It can be whatever it is you make of it, okay? You have to obviously agree as a team, but I know you guys know my personality now, okay? And some of you have even said to me, hey, I love your go-getter attitude. I love how you're so adamant about this and passionate about this. And I am. If you talk to me on the street and you ran into me on the street, which I hope we can eventually one day do, I want to do a big retreat. But if you were to talk to me on the street and it wasn't about special education or autism or, you know, the mama warrior in me as far as mama bear comes out when it comes to this, you would probably be like, Raven's so chill and cool because I am normally, you know. But when it comes to this, I'll tell you, my personality almost goes out the window when it comes to dealing with the IEP team, because it's one of those things that I am, and no BS. It's not personal. It's about my child and getting my child what's needed and appropriate so that she can have the best possible education she can possibly have. Now, I understand the wording, I understand the verbiage, but in my mind, it's the best possible education she can have. And to get your child the best possible education that they can have is to not have a lapse in their education, to keep things consistent, to keep things steady for them. Don't create a problem that it could happen when they go back to school from having no school for all the summer time that they don't have school. And then they go back to school and have this big change and they have to do all this schoolwork and they all of a sudden have OT again and PT and speech and all these things, and they flip out. And then there's behavior issues. And then there's all kinds of other issues because they went from this fun summer to, oh crap, it's school again. And a lot of our kids don't always like school. They don't always like going to school. They have trouble getting up in the morning. You know, just putting on the right shoe at the right time sometimes is a problem for us. Sometimes it's putting on the right clothes because the textile and, you know, the sensory issues. So there's a lot of issues that can happen because you are lax over the summer. So I highly suggest, my tip of the week is, number one, be on top of ESY now. Don't let it go. Put in your meeting request come December so that you meet in January and you're on top of it now. Because if it's a fight, you need February, you need March to argue this to get your child ESY. Most children, I will never say all, but most children with special needs, any type of special need, needs consistency and stability. And to do that, you need to have school over the summer. So, for example, if your child's struggling in reading, that's a reason for ESY. Don't let them regress in reading. If your child's struggling in math, don't let them regress in math. They shouldn't, you know, have a lapse of 8-9 weeks over the summer and lose what it is they've at least already gained in math or reading, right? If they have occupational therapy because of writing issues or how to hold a pencil, you don't want them losing that over the summer. The same thing with physical therapy. Say your child has low muscle tone and issues like that. You don't want them losing that over the summer, okay? Same with speech. If your child has speech issues, they can actually regress and lose that over the summer. And the one thing that I want you to know about ESY is don't let the school system tell you that, oh, well, we haven't seen regression in your child, so therefore your child doesn't qualify. Not true, okay? It can be the probability of your child regressing, okay? So understand that most children with special needs can have the probability to regress, okay? Here's a story that I want to tell you that you probably won't believe, but it's crazy. Yes, I can show pictures later. But back in 2015, I was crossing the street getting ready to teach a class in Maryland. And I was hit by a truck, literally crossing the street, hit by a truck, almost died, was in the hospital for 6 weeks. I broke my arm and I broke my pelvis and my sacrum and my back, and it was a mess, okay? But the one thing I learned with that accident is if at all you're 1% at fault, they don't do anything about it. So I didn't profit from that, from literally almost dying, because I was 1% at fault. Even though it was the driver's fault, I was 1% because I crossed the street, is what they said. So bottom line, if there's that percentage, which all our children have that percentage, that was probably a weird analogy, right? But it just kind of stuck with me that if there's any type of percentage that your child could regress, or there could be an impact of disability from having that lapse in schooling for that 8-9 weeks, that's a long time. That's a whole period and report card period, okay? So if your child gets report cards, that's a whole period. Huge, right? So I'm actually one of those parents that wish my school system did year-round school. I think it's like 8 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 6 weeks on, 1 week off, something like that. I know they do it in some places in Texas. My family's in Texas, and I know they do it there a little bit, but I think that's more beneficial than parents having to find daycare and camps and all these things over the summer. And, you know, it's hard with children with special needs because there's not a lot of places myself would feel comfortable leaving my child, you know? I know there's probably some good places out there, but I'm just very, very picky, and I get nervous leaving my child in places like camps and, you know, places where there's water and things like that. So you really have to think about ESY. Start thinking about and processing. You can message me. We can set up a discovery call and talk about it further. It's free. And we can talk about, you know, the thought process that needs to go on so that you can get your child ESY. Because honestly, I think that, you know, again, most children with special needs ESY. It's something that will keep them consistent. It will keep them steady. It will keep them, you know, understanding that they're going to have the same routine. And a lot of our kids literally function on the same type of routine. And so that's the tip of the week, guys. So hopefully you gain some knowledge on this, that ESY is super, super important. Don't let the school system push you to start it in April or May. That's just so irresponsible of them. And as parents, we need to be the responsible ones and take the initiative to say, hey, we need to talk about this right now because a plan of action needs to be put in place. And I'm not going to take the chance of my child missing ESY because we're too busy trying to put a plan in place. And I can tell you that happened to me 2 years in a row. So I don't want that to happen to you, okay? And it was almost like they prolonged it on purpose. Oh, we can't find this person. Oh, we're trying to look for this person to work with your child, but we can't find them because they have to go and get outside services because a lot of their teachers take off for the summer. A lot of teachers teach so they can be home with their own children over the summer. So it's something the school system needs time to prepare for as well. And you can even say, you know, I'm trying to be respectful to you all as well, because if you have to hire from the outside, I understand that that takes time. So flip it as if you're working with them, which you're trying to, but they're not exactly going to be working with you when it comes to summer. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be a negotiation. It's going to be a fight. You're going to have things to back it up. I can help you with that, but just please think about ESY now. Remember, that's the tip of the day and week, and something that I want you to think about now. I didn't want to talk about this in January. I will bring it up, but I wanted to tell you about it now so that you can start making your plan to schedule an IEP for January. Because think about it, if you make the IEP in January, you have February, March to argue it and keep making IEPs if need to, and then you can have things in place. Know that you can have all types of things in place. You can have all your services. You can have reading, math, whatever you need for your child, and what your child needs can be implemented and put in place for the summer. The other thing I want you to know too is don't let them gyp you. You can have ESY for the day and how long they need to have it. It is not always one size fits all, is not how special needs and special education works. So don't let them say to you, oh, we only do it for half the day, or oh, we only do it for 3 days a week. No, special education is not one size fits all. It's one size fits your child, and your child can have one way and it be one way for them, but the other child, it may be totally different. So your child needs a plan of action for them, just like other children need a plan of action for them. So understand that you don't have to buy that. You can let them know straight up that you know that ESY can be a variety of different things, and the main thing is to meet your child's needs and make sure that they don't regress and that they continue to make progress, okay? And I hope you guys enjoyed this tip of the week. So I'm going to get gas now. Like I said, I'm at a gas station. I will get back to your questions later on. I need to get home. I was at a meeting, so I'm now at the gas station doing my live with you because I told you I would be live at 8. And so hopefully you guys heard me okay. I'm sorry it's dark. I'm in my car. And I hope you guys have a really good Monday evening. I will see you tomorrow night on the group. So if you're not a member of the group, hop on over to Autism Mama Rocks, the IEP group. And we do a 1 hour, sometimes 75-minute question and answer over on the group every Tuesday. It's something special I do just for my group members. And then I will be back here on the page on Thursday with solid content. I don't know what I'm talking about this week yet, guys, but I promise I'm going to have it together. If you have any ideas, please post below for me. Ideas that you want to know more about, and I will take that into consideration to talk about on Thursday, if not on another Thursday. So post below if you have questions, ideas, things that you want answers to, and I will try and get those answered as quickly as possible. So again, have a good Monday, and I hope you enjoyed the tip of the week. I'll talk to you guys soon.